Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this way.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty then.
Hey everybody, welcome into the Gaming Hub. This is episode number 149. I'm your host, Tyler, saying hello and thank you for joining us. And I'm with our co-host as always. Let's start with Graham. Graham, how are you this week?
I'm doing quite well this week. Just working, doing my thing, playing some games. Got to play some Diablo 3. That game is good fun. It's addicting too. Like it's surprising how addicting it is just holding down a button and just massively just killing enemies over and over. And then when I get tired of doing that, which isn't that often, I've been playing some Overcooked 2. Basically working my way through it to get all the stars and stuff like that. Been trying to 3-star everything and do all the bonus levels. Enjoying that game. It's nice to see that it's definitely still being updated and getting some free content and stuff like that. And I also played some Anthem with you two. It's kind of knocking on the door of Destiny 2 for me. I haven't really given it a lot of time, so I can't say it's exactly like that, but it was kind of like starting to turn into that. I know you played a bit more, Tyler, so you'll probably talk on that.
So what don't you like, Graham?
Well, the last part where we had to collect these little glowy things, like, I don't know what they're called. You might be able to tell me. Little spirits or something like that.
Yeah, like little orbs.
Essentially, like, I don't know. It just seemed like there was like too many of them. Like, why did they need that many of them?
Well, there were 6 of them.
Oh, there's only 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I found none. So.
No, it's you got to use the radar thing that they have for you there. And honestly, like we were done. What, Steven? Like within 5-10 minutes, finding all of them. Like those are my least favorite missions in the game. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't that hard, and it wasn't that bad. Like, I don't think I've done a mission yet that takes longer than 20 minutes, except the last one I did today. Before I signed off, that one was, like, by a mile the hardest thing I've done in that game thus far. The boss battle was pretty difficult. So, but I'm actually having fun with it. But before we get into that more, let's go to Steven. How are you this week?
Well, I am... I may not sound it because I actually have some energy right now, but I'm exhausted. Like, this week has been something else for me. It seemed like all the stuff seemed to pile up into 1 week, and it just kind of happened that way, and it sucked. I was at work for 14 hours yesterday. Like, I literally left the house, or on Tuesday, I mean. I left the house, and then I didn't come back until I was ready to go to sleep, basically. So yeah, I left at like 6:30, and then I got back at like 9:30, and then went straight to bed basically. And I didn't fall asleep right away, but that is what happened. And that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I had 2 midterms, and I don't know, like Monday was also another busy day because I was stressed because I have midterms, and I knew that Tuesday would be long, so it made my Monday terrible. But now that it's over, I mean, today was pretty easy. Like, it was a really easy day at work. Tomorrow, I'm just waiting for the weekend. I have played a couple games. I played a little bit of God of War on Sunday. I started a new playthrough, and I got actually about as far as I did in the YouTube playlist that kind of tapered off. So apologies if you guys were wanting to see the end of that, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I started a new playthrough. I'm enjoying that. I did get a chance to play some Anthem. Honestly, like the entire time I was playing it, I was like, I'd rather just go play Diablo. And maybe that's a weird comparison, but the shooting's fine. But to me, the Anthem feels like a looter type game, and there's no game that does that better than Diablo. Well, I mean, Path of Exile does it decently enough, and Torchlight as well. But any of those types of games, I haven't found one that I enjoy more than Diablo. So I'm kind of like, and then I see Graham playing, it makes me kind of want to jump back in. But finally, the last game I've been playing came out yesterday. Or no, it came out Tuesday. I didn't get a chance to play till yesterday, which was Trials Rising. It's typical Trials game if you like the Trials games. I've been enjoying it. Like, the tracks are really fun. The reviews are decent. It's got like 100 tracks, which is awesome, but I think some of them are locked behind like grindy missions that kind of they went away from what I think made Trials awesome in the past, which is unfortunate. But I've been enjoying it, and if you like Trials, it is exactly the same thing as every other game before, but just with new missions, and that's awesome. Or new maps, I mean. So yeah, Tyler, how about yourself? How are you?
I'm good. Having a pretty good week, and I think it's fair to say I'm enjoying Anthem the most out of the three of us. And I'll say this for the game: I played a decent amount of it this week. That and Kingdom Hearts, which I'm almost done with, I think. Steven said I was really close before, and I sat down and played for like 4 hours, and I'm like, this is not close, but
well, it's close if you're not terrible at it.
Yeah, well, whatever. But I played the game. I never thought I'd get this far in the game to begin with. I thought I'd get about 3 or 4 minutes in and then be done.
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be honest.
But Anthem, I really like the shooting. I like the world. The world is beautiful. It's pretty well done, and I really like the flying component of the game. There are things wrong with the game, no doubt about it, and it's fair to talk about those. But I overall, I'm having fun with it. I was telling Graham earlier, I'm kind of choosing to take the Graham approach here of like, I'd rather focus on what I like with it than the things that maybe aren't right, or could be better. So, with that approach, I'm actually having a pretty decent time with it. But
the Graham approach, I like that.
Yeah. So, Graham, you are the optimist.
Which is just pretend everything is all fine and dandy.
No, I'm
right?
not pretending. Like, it has its issues. There's no question. It's not
ignorance is bliss. Okay.
It is far from.
I was talking about the Graham approach, but
yeah, it is far from a perfect game, but so many games are, but I'm not having a decent amount of fun with it and enjoying it so far. So I'm gonna definitely continue. I haven't played it like a super lot yet. I'm level 14. I got to that today, and but it's so far it's pretty fun.
How's the story?
It's not that great. I mean, it's about what you'd expect in a game like this. I don't really play games like this for the story, though.
Yeah. So the fact that it's a BioWare game, and like when we think BioWare, we think I think Mass Effect. Other people think other things, but we think like good story and like where you make decisions and it affects the outcome.
There's none of that.
There's none of that, right?
There's absolutely none of that here.
Okay. I was just curious because, like, when I think BioWare, like I said, Mass Effect, I loved Mass Effect. I loved how you can, like, control your character and choose who to make friends with and stuff like that and maybe pursue a relationship. But I was hoping that they were going to have that, but it seems like that's not a thing.
No, there's none of that here. It's pretty straightforward. Like, here are the missions you can get. Take them, go do them, come back, turn them in, and move on from there. That's about it.
Yeah. So I think in comparison, now I'm just speculating because I haven't played it, but I think I might like the Division 2 more. Like, I like the whole idea of having suits that you can fly around and stuff like that, but I think that might wear thin really quick. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to give Destiny 2 a try and see which I like better.
You mean? Yeah. You gave Destiny 2 a try for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. We don't talk about that.
No. But you were excited for Division 2, the first division,
yes.
2 years ago. That didn't work out real well for you.
No, it didn't.
So what makes you think this time's going to be different?
I'm going to keep swinging and hoping for the best.
All right.
Well, I've heard a lot of good things since like the Division was out. Like they updated it and they changed some things and gave more content. And people are like, "Oh, it's so much better now." But it was kind of like, okay, you lost me at that point, and then a new shiny thing came along, which I got sucked into. So I'm hoping that they've learned from their mistakes, and they're going to go with what they learned and just improve on that, which that will give them a head start. So that's what I'm hoping.
We're going to find out 2 weeks from tomorrow when the game launches.
We will.
So are you going to buy it? Are you going to commit to buying the game?
I'm not committing yet.
So what are you waiting for? Like, what do you need to say, I'm going to buy Division 2?
I think I want to hear a review and just to see if it has improved and just see the comparison from the Division first one.
Okay.
So I'd like
from who?
I don't want to throw my money out there and buy it and not like put the time into it when there's other games. Well, that I've already done that. Like I'm not going to go into the list because it's a pretty extensive list of games that I bought and hardly played or not played at all. So I want to be more smart with I'm buying this game and I'm going to play it instead of I'm going to buy this and I might play it.
What's funny to me, Graham, is that you absolutely loathe Destiny 2 and, Steven, what's the name of that game that we got last Christmas? Killing Floor 2.
Killing Floor 2.
Yes, that he absolutely hates.
It's 2 Christmases ago. Time flies.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Wow. But the game you never talk about is Star Wars Battlefront 2, where you got it. We played it like one time, universally decided that we did not enjoy it, and never played it again. But you didn't you play the single player in that, though?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. I didn't finish it, which is kind of too bad. Like I was quite enjoying it.
You know who did finish it?
Me.
Who?
Me.
Yeah.
No.
You and I both did.
Well, aren't we special?
It's not bad. No. It's not great, though.
No, it's not great. It was fun. Like I liked how it focused on different characters at certain times, so it wasn't just like the same drawn out story or something like that. Like it kept it fresh and interesting. But yeah, when I played the multiplayer, like even you guys hated it and I was completely turned off it. But I don't regret buying that because I did put enough time into the single player and I did enjoy it. So yeah, okay. I forgot about that game, to be honest with you.
I think a lot of people have.
I think a lot of people tried to forget about that game.
Yeah,
I did.
And real quick, Steve, before I turn it over to you, it's officially begun this week, guys. And we're not going to talk about it as a news story because it's really not big enough to be a news story, but it's officially begun. And what I mean by that is the Congo line of people saying, guess what? Our game is going to be at E3 this year. When it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And so Cyberpunk is going to be at E3. Gee,
no way.
You know, it's a big surprise. Never thought we'd see it there.
No. Well, the amount of articles I read on Twitter today stating as much made it seem like a big surprise, let me tell you. I think I saw like 15 things.
Why is it a surprise to people, though?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Like that's like if Microsoft came out and said, we're going to have Gears 5 at E3 this year. You can all rest easy. Well, of course it's going to be there. We know it is. We know Cyberpunk's going to be at E3 this year. I think the real question is, when's that game coming out? I think a lot of people are holding out hope that it's releasing this year. I would be absolutely shocked if that was the case.
I wouldn't.
So, we'll see. I might be wrong. I hope I am. But I'd be really surprised if it came out this year. So, anyway, Steven, let me turn it over to you.
All right. As a reminder, we have the official podcast of the Xbox Hub. Head on over to the xboxhub.com for all the latest and greatest and all the news, reviews, and everything in between in the world of Xbox. And actually, Tyler just had a new article that started a little bit of comment war in the
it got going early.
In the comments.
It got going early,
so
and
that's always fun.
Yeah, it is when you get it going there, but. You know, I think people kept it fairly civil. I was kind of impressed. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So as always, we'd love to have you come join our community this weekend, actually. And I hope that this gets up early enough where you guys might be able to hear this. But if not, you can join in the next one, and this gives you reason to join the community. But we're gonna do another little community play. I haven't fully decided what. We have some of the Jackbox games I think we're going to go with. But, I mean, it's kind of just more like a unofficial community event where we all just kind of get together and play whatever we're feeling like. But that's happening on Saturday evening. So if you hear it and you want to join, the best way to do it would be joining Facebook or Discord. And the easiest way to get there is through Twitch. So if you head on over to Twitch at TXH Gaming Hub, you can give us a follow while you're there. And a Twitch Prime sub if you have that, and Tyler will elaborate on that in a bit. But from there, you can click on links to get to Facebook, Discord, and everything else. And Facebook is the Gaming Hub forums if you want to just search straight that way. And from there, you can just ask, and I think it's pinned to get the link to Discord. And there's a lot of great topics on Facebook and Discord. And we're seeing a lot of like cool conversations. You can get groups for Apex. There's a meme channel now if you're into that sort of thing. We talk about food, music, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch. We have a lot of people playing on a lot of different consoles, which is really awesome. And we'd love to have you come join there. And you can get games in with people, and we'd love to see you guys play with each other. That's pretty awesome to us. And if you hate something you heard on the show or love something you heard on the show, you can send us an email at thegaminghubpodcast@gmail.com. You can tag, you can send it to any of the three of us. We'll all see it, complain or praise something we have done. Boy, do we love your guys' mail in any shape or form. And finally, Twitter is TXH Gaming Hub. You can follow us there and see all the stuff we tweet.
All right, thanks, Steven. And if you'd like to help support the show, we'd really appreciate that. And, E3's coming. So
yes,
we want to go. Unfortunately, it's not free. So we need your help to be able to do that. And if you want to help support us, again, really appreciate it. A couple different ways to do it, though. So first, Steven mentioned Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Prime sub to use every single month. If you choose to spend that on us, again, really appreciated. If not, use it on somebody. Help them grow and achieve their goals. It's free, so spend it on somebody. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/gaminghub. And for as little as $2 a month there, you get exclusive content and lots of cool stuff for as little as $5 a month, though. You're entered into a monthly giveaway for $60 in gift cards to the console of your choice, which we just did last week for the month of February, but we do it every single month. And that's for just $5 a month, supporting the show. And for the bigger tiers to go beyond $5, you get more entries into that giveaway. So if you want to help support the show, again, it would go a long way, helping us provide better content and better giveaways, stuff like that. And it would just make us feel really good, I guess. So, but there's more than one way to support the show, and Graham's going to tell you about that now.
Yes, and as we are a podcast, obviously we can be streamed on many platforms, whether it's your smartphone, tablet, PC, all kinds of devices. And if you are using a tablet or a smartphone, I got a couple other options to throw out there, which you guys can listen to us on. One of these options would be Radio Public. Now, this is an app, and you can stream different podcasts. And if you choose to listen to us this way or other podcasts, it actually helps support the podcast that you're listening to, because you listen to a little ad at the beginning, not much, and it just says that it just gives a little support to us. It's not going to make us rich by no means, but every little bit helps. After maybe 100, we can buy a bag of chips. No, but we definitely appreciate that. And another app would be Dash Radio. Now, this is a radio streaming app that you can download from your various stores on your smart devices. And along with our podcast, there are other podcasts, gaming podcasts, and other types, and there's different types of music. But if you're looking for a gaming podcast, which would contain ours, you would be looking for the multiplayer channel. And like I said, it's about a continuous rotation of our podcasts and other ones. They keep going on throughout the week. Make sure you don't miss it. It's great for driving. And if you do enjoy what you hear, which hopefully you are, because we're doing it for you guys and ladies, you can give us a comment. You can give us 5 stars, and you can say what you like, what your favorite segment is. Any kind of constructive criticism is much appreciated. And like I said, you write that down, and we actually read it, and we take it to heart. And I think Tyler got a couple to read after I'm done here. But anyways, appreciate you guys listening. And if you guys can give us 5 stars, that would be great.
All right, thanks, Graham. And yeah, so if you submit an iTunes review, a good chance, or review through any podcast platform, good chance you're going to hear it right on the show. Just like this week, we got a couple, actually 3, to talk about here. So first of all, Spanish the Menace 7 said, on a whim, I was searching for gaming podcasts around E3 last year. I found the Gaming Hub and listened to an episode or 2 before I suddenly felt inclined to join the community. was instantly welcomed warmly from the start. I embrace each of their opinions as gamers, especially as each gamer has their own likes and dislikes and story as to how they got into it. You get great news from all sides with no bias as the PS4, Xbox, and Switch are all discussed. Tyler, Graham, and Steven all love video games and know how to make things entertaining while giving great information. Community-friendly is the best way to describe the podcast as they find ways to enjoy their love of games with their listeners, along with soliciting questions from the community. Keep doing what you do, guys. Thank you so much, Spencer, for that. Really appreciate it. Or I should say Spennis, in case your name isn't Spencer. Apologies. Second one, Shadowbolt 14. I've been listening for almost a year now, and it's definitely my favorite podcast. I look forward to new episodes to listen to while I work. Kind of makes me wish this could be my job. A great group of friends with amazing chemistry that make my day much better, even if you're just a casual gamer. Thank you for all the joy you guys bring me. Hey, really appreciate hearing that. Thank you so much, Shadowbolt, for the support. And finally, this one made us all laugh. Chuck Norris's predecessor says, love listening to Halo Man, Zelda Man, and Kingdom Hearts Man discuss gaming every week. Keep it up. So, Graham, I'm guessing that I am Zelda Man?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And I'm probably Kingdom Hearts Man.
Yeah? So Steven would be Halo Man?
No, Halo sucks.
So, now I would be Halo Man there. Grant would be Zelda Man, and Steven obviously would be Kingdom Hearts Man. But hey, thank you so much for the review. Really appreciate it. And that helps us a ton, because when people are looking for a new podcast to listen to about video games, a lot of people go and look at the reviews real quick, and if they see some good 5-star ones there with stuff like that, just like the 3 we just read, it encourages them to give it a listen and hit subscribe. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you. All right.
Yes, and flattery will get you everywhere, because call me Zelda Man. I'm okay with that. I love the franchise, so I'm proud to be known as Zelda Man to some people.
Well, there's a reason they call you that, Graham. I don't think you've hidden the fact that you kind of like it. You know, it's okay.
Yep,
you think it's all right anyway. All right. Guys, there's a little bit of news this week. Let's get into that now.
In the news.
And we were all kind of excited when we first learned about the Outer Worlds. And a release date may have been leaked on the Steam store. So, just a reminder, it's an upcoming FPS RPG from Obsidian. And they kind of leaked the date of August 6th. So it was live on the store for 17 and a half hours before it was taken down. Now we see this type of stuff all the time, where this isn't the last story like this we're actually going to talk about. But what do you guys think? Like, is it legit? Does the release date make sense? And is it a day one buy for you?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. They said it was supposed to come out pretty, like, fall of this year, if I remember correctly, at the Game Awards. And actually, August is more summer. But yeah, I could see this happening. I think they're looking to probably make sure that they can get it out there before they like put out a release date, just to push it back 2 months, if that's the case. So they didn't want to fully make it official. I wonder if we're going to see this at, I don't know, like GDC maybe, or if we're going to see it at E3, like again. Or and that might
I would guess
Game
E3.
Awards, so yeah,
I would say
E3, and
E3,
that's when. But that's pretty quick turnaround. That's 2 months. But I think that's enough. I am super interested in this. Fallout New Vegas is, I think, my favorite Fallout game. It was made by the guys that are making this game. So, I'm just kidding. It's made by the developers of Fallout New Vegas, but the creators of the original Fallout. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to misrepresent people. But yes, I am super excited. The game looked gorgeous when I watched it at the Game Awards, like little trailer. I haven't really been looking for stuff because once I know I'm going to buy a game, I try to avoid as much as possible just so I don't get overhyped. Or at least until it gets closer. But yeah, I'm very interested in this game.
Okay, Graham?
I'm interested as well, especially with I'm going to say flop, kind of in quotation marks, for, I guess, Fallout 76. Some people have really enjoyed the game. It's kind of shameful. I haven't really given it a good solid try. I think I've just been scared away from it from everything I hear. And I've just there's been other things that people have talked higher of and said it's good and stuff like that. So I'm like, Now, do I want to try play something that a lot of people are not liking, but some people are, or am I going to play something that a lot of people are excited for? So it's kind of got lost on me for that reason. But if this is what it is, which seems like it is, that's a little cryptic. I'm definitely excited for this one. Fallout 7, or not Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas. A lot of people say it's their favorite Fallout one of it. Some people call it was like an extension of Fallout 3, which Fallout 3 is the Fallout game that I've put the most hours into it. Like a ton of hours, and a hard drive crashed, and I lost all my saved data, I don't want to open that scarred memories. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm excited. This is like on a new gen console, so it's kind of like a Fallout 5 kind of idea, but not really. So it's from Obsidian, a trusted company. I think this is actually a leak. Like when you get closer on E3, all this stuff starts leaking, and it seems to be pretty accurate. So, like Steve was saying earlier, he thought it was they announced it as a fall release, so this would be a little bit earlier. Yeah. I'm not surprised to see it. What was that, Steven?
No, I didn't say that was Tyler, but it might have just been a 2019 release, and I was just hoping for fall.
Oh, for fall. Okay.
But I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, but either way, I'm excited for it. Like I said, this is what I've been hoping Fallout 76 was going to be, which turns out it wasn't. So I'm all in on this one, and I can't wait to see more of it at E3, which I'm pretty certain it will be there, especially if it's coming out in August.
We'll see more, and I think August 6th makes a lot of sense, actually. So it's probably not going to be the type of game that is a big AAA, super huge experience, but it's going to be good, it's going to be well done, it's going to be fun. Early August is the perfect window for those types of games. People are in the mood to buy something new. They're getting hyped for the fall season. We're only like 2 months removed from E3. It's perfect time. So, yeah, you talk about it at E3, you hype it up, people pre-order it, knowing it's only a couple months out, and you launch it then and you're good to go. So I think it makes a ton of sense.
I disagree that it's not going to be a full AAA experience. I have no idea what you mean by that. I disagree.
You think it's going to be a $60 game?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely going to be
I might be wrong. The first impression I got from it is that it might not be. So I'm happy to be wrong on that, guys. So,
I don't know if we've been watching the same thing or we watched the same thing. But they already said it's going to be shorter than like a normal Fallout game, but designed to replay and get different like endings and stuff. And they want the stories more branching, I think, and so they want you to replay it. So I don't know if that means it's going to be a like 15 to 20 hour campaign type of situation over a 40 hour like Fallout. Like if you're just trying to rush the main story with minimal side quests.
Which these games are not designed for, but you know.
No, I stand corrected then. So I just got the wrong impression from what I saw, and my bad, and I'll own that. But I still say for new IPs, you don't want to launch new IPs in September, October, November. I think we've learned enough lessons from that, or enough games have learned lessons from that in the last few years. August still makes a ton of sense to me.
So if Cyberpunk does come out this year, when do you think it's going to happen? Because that's a new IP.
Yeah, that's got enough hype behind it, though. That's a different deal. There is no comparison between the hype between Cyberpunk and Outer Worlds. None.
Well, I wasn't implying there was. I was just saying.
No, I think Cyberpunk can go in October and be just fine. It's a big enough game from a big enough studio that's built up enough credibility, and there's so much hype around that game. If it does come out this year, I still don't think it is, but if it does, it'll be just fine launching whenever.
You know, I feel for some people that they're really hyped on this game, which for some people I would say comparable to Cyberpunk, in my opinion. Because, like...
Yeah, but not in the numbers, Graham.
No, this is not even close, Graham. I mean, close. I'm hyped for this game, but like the people are hyped for Cyberpunk. Like, everyone's hyped for Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. It's it's a much smaller audience that's hyped for this game.
Yeah, but some people, some people.
Well, sure, some. I mean,
yeah, and I'm sure some people were super hyped for Anthem over the amount of hype for Cyberpunk. I mean, you can make that about anything.
Yeah.
Which
for example, Graham, last year, Graham, some people were super hyped for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like you, right? But it doesn't compare to the hype that existed for Red Dead Redemption 2 last fall. At all.
No, you're right.
And I think that's a pretty solid comparison here.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Well, you and me have both been wrong so far, so, you know. Steven's always happy to point that out, so.
I've never been wrong a day in my life, so
I know.
good luck figuring that one out.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. So, yeah, we knew that Capcom was bringing Resident Evil to the Switch, but now we know when it's happening. So Resident Evil 4, 0, and Resident Evil Remastered are all arriving on the Switch on May 21st. Graham, are you buying these? Have you pre-ordered it yet?
I have not pre-ordered it yet, but I will get it for just one of these games. Like, the other ones could be good and fun and all that stuff, but Resident Evil 4. I remember when I played that on the GameCube, and it was such a great experience, and it was intense. Like, it had a lasting impression, and it was just kind of a freak accident that I obtained this game, and I played it. I loved it. My brother actually watched me play it, and he's like, I'm gonna play this too, and he like never plays video games, so that like kind of contested for how well of a game it is. So I'm just kind of wondering how well it's aged and stuff like that, because you know how like those old games when you're young, it was a new experience, like you're just loving it, right? And you're like, wow, this is the craziest thing ever. And like same with movies too. You rewatch a movie that you saw like when you were young, you're like, actually it's not that good. But I don't know, I'm excited to play it on Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't say it's the perfect console for it, but there's nothing wrong. Anytime you release another game on another console, there's really nothing wrong with it. So I'm interested on that one. The other two, not really. We're thinking it might have came in as a bundle, but it's not going to be a bundle. It's going to be 3 separate games, which is, it's kind of nice, though, because I'll go for Resident Evil 4 out of it. How about you guys? Any guys got any interest in any of these?
Steven, any interest?
No, if I wanted to play it, I would buy it on the Xbox or PlayStation, and I would have done it already.
Yeah, that's kind of where I feel, too. Like Graham, you said it's never a bad thing when you release a game on another console, but they've released this on every console ever.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 has been on, like, 30 different consoles now.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like if I was really dying to play it, I would have done it by now, because I've had plenty of chances to do so. So, yeah, I don't see it. I mean, I'm glad you're excited, though, for 4. And I know a lot of people will be, so I think that's great.
Yeah. I'm more excited for the Final Fantasy games that are getting released on Xbox and Switch than I am for the Resident Evil games.
All right.
To be honest with you, but yeah.
So, Graham, another potentially exciting thing for you. So, on Amazon this week...
I feel like it's Christmas for me right now.
I know. A Bethesda game used the Fallout Countdown image as the placeholder image for the game, with a generic release date of December 31st, 2019. Now, do you think, Graham, it's possible that this was just a mistake, or are you going to dismiss that because your hopes and dreams tell you that this is a new Fallout game? And if so, what kind of Fallout game is it? Because it's absolutely not going to be not Halo 5, God. Fallout 5.
Yeah, no, this is not. Now, I'm saying this, but I don't know 100% because Bethesda is the company that surprised you. I think when they
surprised us a lot last November.
Well, yeah, surprises in bad ways, but
yeah,
let's focus on the good ways they surprised us. Like when they announced Fallout 4 and they're like, well, it'll be out in 3 months or 4 months, whatever it was. Like that was a shocker, and like people still talk about that right now. So they could be trying to go for that, but that is really wishful thinking. My guess is it's going to be Fallout 3 Remastered, and this was kind of my prediction of E3 last year, which I was wrong. This is gonna be wrong for another time. Hopefully nobody's counting, but maybe, because I didn't see what this was, if it said any specific console, but maybe Fallout 3 is gonna be coming to Nintendo Switch and these other consoles.
Oh my gosh.
I had to say it. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a remastered of an older game. Maybe they're going to release the first two or whatever, or maybe three. I think one was a spin-off. So I don't really know exactly. I'm sure we'll get more information. But I'd be super surprised that it would be a Fallout 5, and I don't expect it to be a Fallout 5. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, there's no way this is Fallout 5. Zero chance. Zero, not a nilch. Zero, other, words for zero in all the other languages. No way. Not happening. I don't know if, and I don't really care between the two, if this is a Fallout 3 remaster or a Fallout New Vegas remaster. I'll tell you, I'll be pissed, though, if this is a Fallout 76, expansion or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll make me upset. I'll be really annoyed. Because I'd buy a Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas remaster. I'd buy both. I hope it's both. I'd love a combo pack.
A combo? Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, too.
To me, I have a feeling that, because they did it with Skyrim, right? They released it as
Special
$60.
edition.
I have a feeling it's going to be one of the two, and it's going to be $60. I would pay $60 for both.
Yeah.
And I'd pay $60 for each, but I'd much rather be 60 for both, to be honest with you, of course.
No, I'd rather buy both of them
If
separately.
I got both,
for
though,
60.
oh my god, I'd be in high heaven right now. If I got both games with all the DLC remastered, that would be an amazing deal. And I feel like it would definitely, bring some goodwill back to Bethesda if any went away. And to me, I think it did. Some listeners might disagree with me because Bethesda is such a it's just a great company, right?
Yeah.
But Fallout 76 was terrible. Let's be real. And I don't know.
But that doesn't mean they're terrible now, right? So
no. But I mean, it did upset a lot of
Can't judge
people.
them on one bad.
Sure,
decision.
I can and I will. But I do hope it's together. I hope it's a collection of, or not a collection, but just 3 and New Vegas remastered. I feel like 3 is more likely. I don't know if the fact that Obsidian made New Vegas is going to affect that in any way, or what.
I think Bethesda owns it, though, right?
Yeah, they do, and they published it. But I don't know if that if they'd rather remaster the game they made rather than the one that wasn't made by them. But let's see. I guess we'll find out. I'd imagine we're going to find out by E3. At E3, probably.
At E3.
This could very well be a November release that is announced at E3. Though I would love if this was a game that was announced at E3 that came out
that day,
right before summer. Because if I had the chance to play New Vegas and 3 over the summer, that would be awesome.
What I was going to add to this, because I'm not that big of a Fallout fan, to be 100% honest, but I think if we see Bethesda in the next month to 6 weeks say, hey, we're doing a E3 briefing again, mark your calendar for whatever date. They always do it on the Sunday. But if that happens, then we're getting something this fall, and it's probably a Fallout spin-off of some sort.
They
that's
have to do it
possible. Yeah.
Because they had their 3 years ran up the year or going into last E3, so they are doing another 3 years in a row, right?
It's a 2-year commitment. They have to do it for at least 2, and they did that, and now it's just kind of whatever. But they're not forced to do one. So if we see that they are doing one,
which
then we'll
would
know
be
they've got something
relatively
coming this
soon,
fall.
I would think, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll see the announcement in the next month to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
If they're going to do it.
I was told it was 3 years, so
I'm almost, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive when I very first read that Bethesda was going to be there, that it was a 2-year commitment.
Okay, so let's see. Do you Tyler, do you think Bethesda will be doing a conference there?
I do.
You,
Their
Steven?
conferences have generally been good.
Last year's was not, but
No.
yes, I think they'll be there.
I think they'll
honestly,
be there too.
last year was like Bizarro World in a way at E3. Outside of EA, EA like delivered what they normally deliver, but the ones that are well known for having great briefings had kind of down ones, like Bethesda and Sony, my opinion, and Ubisoft, which has all the ability in the world to be super cringy, was actually pretty good. So, I don't know. And Microsoft stepped up and I thought had a pretty good show.
I don't know. My favorite part was the let's say comment I got after Bethesda's E3 last year,
Yeah.
and guess who turned out to be right?
I know, but people are passionate. That's good. We want people to be passionate, because if people weren't passionate about this stuff, like, nobody would be listening to us. So, all right. So, but I think we'll find out if they're going to do a briefing again. Then there's something coming this year other than Doom. So, I would guess that this is a real thing if they say they're going to have a briefing. All right. We saw a little bit of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order at E3 last year, and by a little bit I mean we just saw Vince Zampella talking about it in the crowd, which was really weird, for like a minute or two. And we didn't see any of the game, but we're going to see it revealed at Star Wars Celebration on April 13th in Chicago this year. And, of course, it's in Chicago this year because I just moved from there. And as a huge Star Wars fan, I would have loved to have gone. And,
he's gone, everyone. He's gone.
I know. We can have it here now.
Well, that was like when it was in Anaheim and I was in Texas.
Yeah. So, because that's something I'd actually really like to go to. But I did take some solace in the fact that the list of guests, like speakers and stuff, just isn't that great this year. But I think it would still be a super fun time. Anyway, we're going to see Fallen Order there this year on the 13th, and we're going to finally get a good idea of what that game is about. I'm sure we'll also see a bunch of Episode 9 stuff. We'll probably get we'll for sure get the title and probably a trailer. But for the game, guys, what are you hoping for? Now, I'm going to go to Steven first on this one because Graham's going to be like, whatever. He's not Graham, you like Star Wars, but you're not a huge fan, right?
No, that's safe to say I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Steven first here. What are you hoping for from this game?
I mean, I just hope we get to pilot the USS Enterprise along with the Klingons and Spock. And yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a terrible joke.
No, you laughed. I want a Jedi game where I get to be like a baller, with all my powers, like kind of similar to the way the Force Unleashed was. Yeah. A lot of that gameplay, but a better game or like a longer game, I guess. That's not just, a run through the different levels and action type scenario. I'd love it to be more of a kind of Knights of the Old Republic, but with the action of the Force Unleashed game. So a 30-hour campaign, I feel like that's wishing too much. I know Respawn has made some good games. That people love the Titanfall games and then now Apex Legends, right? But I do not have faith this is not going to be a shooter. Because, that's all they've made.
No, it's not. They've said it's focused on Jedi, so it's not a shooter.
Well, then let's see how this goes. Because Respawn has proved they can do shooters, so let's see if they can do something else. I'm hesitantly optimistic. I don't think it's going to be the Star Wars game I've been craving since Knights of the Old Republic, or really since the Old Republic I stopped playing. I did enjoy the Old Republic quite a bit. It had a not so good launch, but I think people were expecting World of Warcraft from a game that was just coming out in the MMORPG world. Yeah. I don't think that's fair. I thought they improved a lot, and one of their expansions, I can't remember what it was. It was with Revan though. Was really fun. I really enjoyed playing that. So there hasn't been a Star Wars game though since I've played that has kind of been awesome like that. And so Knights of the Old Republic and then the Old Republic games, and all three of those games were BioWare Star Wars games. So So I don't know. Like I want it to be kind of bigger in scope than the Force Unleashed, but kind of the same type of style, and we'll see what we're gonna get. And I'm not excited. Like, I'm curious, but I'm not excited. I might be excited on the 13th.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Graham, any thoughts on this? What you'd like to see? Is this game even on your radar to buy this year?
It's not on my radar. Not saying that I wouldn't buy it if it comes out, or people like review it before it comes out and the reviews are amazing and people think this is a great game, because this is the Star Wars universe and they can go in so many directions. Like, they could be focused mainly on like a planet at a time, or it could be like travel to other planets like freely, or have a good story that go to other planets. So basically, for me, if I was saying what I would like, I would like the type of games I like. So like a single player adventure, maybe co-op adventure, but really story driven. Maybe make your decisions how you can be like part of the dark side, or from like the fight for good or whatever. I like those kind of games, and like story and good like cinematic trailers. I really don't want it to be another shooter like Battlefront, which Tyler's saying it shouldn't be.
It's not.
So there we go. So that's always a positive. And I would really like to see a Star Wars game like be really well received and people be happy, because I know there's hardcore. I'm sharing a podcast with two of them, hardcore Star Wars fans. So basically, I want them to get the kind of game they want and to love it and to be the greatest game ever. Whether I will play it, it all depends on the reviews and what you guys think of it. But it is not on my radar.
So first of all, public service announcement to my fellow Star Wars like fanatics out there. The key to enjoying this game, and really anything Star Wars, including Episode 9, is to bring your expectations down a little.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean like expect it to suck. I don't mean that. But stop putting ideas in your head of what you think it should be.
And then getting mad when it's not. Because that's exactly what happened with Episode 8. Now, I'm not saying Episode 8 didn't have its flaws. It did. But yeah, the more I think about that movie, the less
I will say, yeah.
I like it.
I agree with you. Like, the more... I've seen it a few times now, and each time I see it, I like it a little bit less.
You have to really suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas... But I absolutely hate the reason that some people don't like it. That's all I'm going to say. But...
I agree. Yeah, when Graham said hardcore Star Wars fan, that just... I thought immediately of what quote-unquote hardcore Star Wars fans are, and I don't want to be associated.
Well, no, those are the hardcore, like, YouTube people that rant and rave about it, even 14 months on, which is ridiculous. But anyway,
YouTube culture is awful, but that's
really
a story for a different day.
It's toxic. But anyway. All right. So, lower your expectations a little, okay? Graham, like, both you guys said, you're hoping for, like, what I heard was, like, some RPG-type elements in there. Choose your own path type of thing. Don't expect that. You're not going to see it. That's not what Respawn does. Respawn is pretty good at combat. They're good at telling linear stories in a linear game. And let's not forget, like, the Titanfall 2 campaign was one of the best shooter campaigns we've seen in quite some time. It really was. It was really good. So... I don't doubt their ability to pull this off. I agree with you, Steven. Basically, my first answer to this is I want to see Force Unleashed bigger, better, and deeper than Force Unleashed was. Force Unleashed was a very on-the-surface type game. Like, it just, like, scratched the surface of what it could have been. And, like, there's so much more there that they can do without having to get into all these, like, are you going to lean towards the dark side or the light side? Because what I've heard of this story is that it takes place after Episode 3, after Order 66, and you're one of the surviving, like, Padawans or Jedi that is basically fighting for survival. So that's not going to be a shooter, and it's probably not going to be super open world and that type of stuff. Now, I might be wrong, and I'd be happy to be wrong if it's an open world game.
I would love a Star Wars like type Fallout game or Elder Scrolls game. Like if you get to be a Jedi and then, or not a Jedi, but just a Force user, and then you can do whatever you want. And like, and there's factions. That would be awesome. I don't want, the Force Unleashed 3. I think it sounds to me, it's been a minute, so if the story doesn't hold up, I apologize. But like, almost like a Bayonetta type game, but Star Wars instead of
maybe
demon lady with hair powers.
Sure.
The Bayonetta, I actually really enjoyed Bayonetta 1. And so like that was, I was thinking of that, like a hack and slash type game. I would really love a Dark Souls-esque Star Wars game, but that is very wishful thinking.
Here's the trick with Star Wars games, especially those that are focused on the Jedi, where you're playing as a Jedi. Because as a fan, you want to feel overpowered, but if you're overpowered all the time, it's not any fun. Because there's no challenge to it.
Yeah, there's a fine line for sure.
So that's the trick when you're putting these games together. Because if it's something where I start out super weak, I'm like, you're a Jedi, you shouldn't be super weak. But there's got to be some sort of challenge that makes it difficult and gives a level of difficulty to the game. I just want Respawn to stick to what they do well. I don't want them to try to go be something they're not, because then I think we might be really disappointed with this.
Yeah. So. A Star Wars Dark Soul game, the more I think about it, would be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah?
To me. You'd probably hate it, Tyler.
I probably would.
Because you don't like games that challenge you.
And expect a fairly straightforward story, because all the video games are part of the new canon now. So
yeah.
it's just going to be that way. And so don't expect something where you can get a different, like you could get a different story experience than I would and Graham would. It's going to be pretty straightforward.
That doesn't sound fun.
But let's see what they do with it. We're going to find out in 6 weeks. So let's see. And I think I'm being optimistic.
I'll be the normal pessimistic one.
Yeah. I want it to be good, and I'm not filling myself with expectations because, like I said, like that's what brings about so much angst with that community. Like, I think everybody just had an idea in their head of what they thought Episode 8 should be, and it wasn't that, and then they had a tantrum. That's still going on.
Well, you can't make everyone happy, so hopefully they make a game that they're happy with, and
apparently you can't make anyone happy.
Yeah, you can. It's just the dum-dums are the loudest ones, as it always is. So it sounds like the crowd's way bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, I know.
It is what it is.
All right, so let's wrap up news with this story, and this is going to be a Graham and Steven topic, so I'm going to introduce it, and then I'm going to introduce it, and then turn it over to you guys for a few minutes. But Pokemon Sword and Shield was announced during a Nintendo Direct this week. It's due out by the end of this year, and it's the first mainline Pokemon game released on console. So let me kick it off this way. Which one of you guys is the bigger Pokemon fan, and what are you really looking forward to in this game? And take it from there. Take a few minutes to talk about it.
Me. I'm the biggest Pokemon fan out of the three of us. I've played almost all of them. I skipped like 1 or 2 generations. And like, okay, so I didn't start until the Game Boy Advance because I didn't have Game Boy Color. So I missed, red, blue, yellow, and then crystal and, was it? Yeah, it was crystal. But I did get fire red and leaf green. And then I had ruby and sapphire. And then I had, black, white, black 2, white 2, X, and then sun, and then ultra moon. So I've had one of all of them, and then including the consoles, I had Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube. I don't think I got Gale of Darkness, and I also had the Mystery Team games. So I played a lot of them in my days, and I've enjoyed every single one. They're simple on the surface, but actually really surprisingly very deep underneath. So you can get as much as you want out of the games, which does a lot more than any other, RPG, or it does a lot or it's easier to get into than a lot of JRPGs with that same type of system, but it also is super in depth if you want it to be. But you don't have to have it be, and you can still have fun. So I think that's really cool, and it looks really great. I'm excited to play it on my TV. It's going to be awesome playing Pokemon on my TV. Graham, you got into Pokemon with the Let's Go's, I think. You might have played before, but are you excited to play a new, like, actual mainline Pokemon game?
Yes, I'm excited because hopefully, so I'll give a little background of my Pokemon. Definitely not as big as a fan as you. As far as mainline games go, I did not get into it until Pokemon Go came out, which is the mobile game. If people don't know, I'm sure everybody knows. And I was just loving that, the whole idea of it. Didn't really know much about Pokemon. I was like, I wasn't one of those people like Pokemon, because I'm like, it's not Pokemon, it's Pokemon. But anyways, so I was into that, and I'm like, I'm going to download Pokemon Yellow on my 3DS, because they had it on there. So I was playing that game on there. I didn't finish it, don't judge me, but I played, really enjoyed it. I kind of got the concept of what it is and stuff like that. And then I bought Pokemon Moon when it came out, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a try and see what it's all about and stuff like that. So I was playing it. I don't know how many hours I had into it. And then my data got corrupt. And I lost all my progress, everything I did. And I'm like I play the game. And when I play it, like, I look like under every little rock or little corner, try to find everything. So I'm like, it's just so disheartening, right? I'm like, okay, I've put in all that time. I do not want to do that again. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done, not playing it. So I didn't play one now till Pokemon Let's Go came out. And I was playing that, and people were like, yeah, it's not like the mainline games and stuff like that. But we knew there was one coming out. We just didn't know when. There was like speculation of other titles like King and Queen. And I heard another one too. I forget what it is. So it's good to see that they finally announced it, and these games are ideal for the Nintendo Switch. They say it's like the first mainline console game. I'm guessing if it wasn't the Nintendo Switch, it might have been just on a handheld. So I'm definitely excited for this. When they announced it, like, you start off with 3 starters you choose from. Some of them have 4. These starters, I've heard a little bit of complaints about. They're a little lackluster. Like, I know Gen 1, you had, like, Bulbasaur and Charmander. I forget what the other one is. But it's what people wanted. It's not straying too far from the original formula. It's kind of like, if it ain't broken, you don't fix it. But some people like how Pokemon Let's Go, you encounter... Basically, you know what Pokemon you're battling or you could get. So you can actually, like, oh, I want a Pidgey, and you just go into a Pidgey and you can throw a Pokeball and get it. With this one, you're going in through grass, and a random Pokemon will come out. So some people might think that they might change that, but I don't know. But I'm definitely excited for it. I will get it, and maybe I will finally complete one.
Yeah, I was going to ask, Graham, is it a day one buy for you?
Yes.
Okay, Steven, for you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I don't know which one I'll be getting. Sword has, like, the cooler name. Honestly, it kind of sounds like a healthcare provider, like Sword and Shield.
A little bit, yeah.
And it turns out, actually, you think about it, King and Queen wasn't super far off from the actual names. But yeah, I'm leaning Sword. So Graham, that means you have to get Shield. But no, it all depends on what, because each version always has their own, like,
legendary
exclusive Pokemon and legendaries, but not just legendaries. Some you can only catch in one or the other. So that list normally gets leaked or comes out like a little bit before the game comes out. So it might be whichever legendary looks coolest, or it's gonna be like, especially the Gen 1 Pokemon. I love the Gen 1 Pokemon. So if there's like a Gen 1 that's exclusive to one game, I'll pick that up. But I mean, I don't necessarily have a preference, I should say. Yeah. But yes, it'd definitely be a day one. Are you gonna get it, Tyler?
Probably not. I'll be honest, the only Pokemon game that's ever held my interest for any length of time has been Pokemon Go, which isn't even really like a Pokemon game like it is, but it isn't, you know.
I know you don't like JRPGs, but like I said, like it's the easiest one to get into, but it can go really in depth. I think you should give a Pokemon game a try. I know
I might.
You never play. I don't think you've given JRPGs enough chance to actually make a.
And that might be true. But there's enough different stuff that I like that takes up my time, and you know, it kind of hurts the chances of me trying that. So, we'll see though. We'll see what happens. The problem is that Nintendo games don't really go on sale ever. So if I'm going to buy it, I'm probably going to have to buy it for $60. And that's, to me, a big chance to take on something, you know. That's
sure,
you know,
but
if I was getting it for $30, that's a different story.
But it also means you can sell it for about the same price since it never goes on sale.
Sure.
So you would, I mean, if you ended up returning it, you get what, 35 back, $30, depending.
Maybe, yeah.
And so there you go.
I still think the best chance of getting my Switch on for extended periods of time is Game Pass, you know, actually going there.
Yeah.
So
Fingers crossed.
Mine would be a Legend of Zelda Wind Waker remaster and or port and or Twilight Princess and or Ocarina and or any of the other Zelda games. But Purple Rainbow Unicorn was taken away.
Yeah, if only they had something where you could play old games.
So Link's Awakening's not going to do it for you, Steven?
Oh, I mean, I'll play that too. But no, that's not what I want. Wind Waker. I never really got a chance to complete it, and I'd be lying if I said there has not been a multitude of times that I've thought about buying a Wii U. I've thought about it a lot for Wind Waker and for Tokyo Mirage Sessions, one of the JRPGs that made by Atlas, looked really cool. Basically for those two games. But yes, I will be picking up the new Legend of Zelda game, or the remaster, Link's Awakening. All
right. Well, guys, that does it for news this week, and let's go ahead and head into releases. We'll start with Xbox. You can get RBI Baseball on the 5th, Devil May Cry 5 on the 8th, and Attack of the Earthlings on the 5th of March. Games of Gold, it's a new month, so we get new games. Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion through the 31st. Super Bomberman R still available through the 15th and through backwards compatibility. Star Wars Republic Commando through the 15th of March. Second straight month they've had a Star Wars game. So that's it for Xbox. Steve, what can we get for PlayStation?
All right, so on the 5th, you can get The Occupation, and the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, you can get Left Alive. Just kidding. I don't know if it's spiritual successor. I don't know anything about it. But also on the 8th, you can get Devil May Cry 5. For PS Plus games, starting on the 8th of March, you can get Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and The Witness. And as a reminder, there's no more PS3 and PS Vita games coming to PS Plus. So those are the only two games. Graham, what about Nintendo?
So for Nintendo, starting on March 5th, you can get Darkest Hunter. Then on March 7th, we have Braveland Trilogy. And then finally, on March the 8th, you could pick up or download Paperbound Brawlers.
Sounds good. Steve, what do we have for questions this week?
All right, first question comes from Bossman Booth. How do you prefer your steaks cooked?
All right. I'm going to go first here so you guys can yell at me a little bit.
Yes, I will.
So, I'm still not to the point where I really like medium rare. I do, but I don't. I'm definitely not a well done steak person. Absolutely not.
Oh, good.
Not with ketchup?
Yeah. You can stay.
No well done steak with ketchup. That's ridiculous and absurd.
That sounds like a Newfoundland thing.
That sounds like a hamburger.
It's disgusting. That's no chicken.
And I'll tell you, growing up, so here's the thing. Growing up for me, my mom always cooked everything super well done. So steak, I really only needed, probably a fifth of a serving of steak because I spent about a half hour chewing each piece. So, she tried, love her to death, but that's, yeah. And so medium for me is the way to go. For now, I will eventually get to medium rare. How about you guys?
Steven?
Medium rare, and I actually think I'd like rare more. But to be honest with you, when I buy a steak, I'm a little scared of like doing it rare and then being like unhappy with it, and I'm paying for a steak, so it's like a little. I'm not a rich man, so a steak's a very no pun intended rare opportunity for me. So yeah, I love mid rare, but I think I'd like rare better. I've yet to have one rare though, but I'd be okay with eating it. It's much better than medium. Medium's overcooked and garbage. So yeah, mid rare. Grant.
Yeah, for me it's medium rare. I'm sure it's not like a restaurant, but I'm sure I've had a rare steak when I've wanted medium rare. Sometimes they're just so thick and stuff like that. Someone's like, "Oh, that's probably medium rare," and then they take it off, and I'm eating it, and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you're just past blue at this point." But no, when it comes to a restaurant and when I order medium rare, because it's so good, and yeah, there's nothing better than a nice medium rare steak to go with some mashed potatoes. I'm getting hungry now talking about this. So yeah, maybe we should move on before I get too hungry.
No, it's definitely better to err on the underside of medium rare than the overside.
Than above. Oh, for sure,
yeah.
for sure.
All right. Next question. Seth Simmons says, "Will any of you be getting the new Mortal Kombat?"
Graham, how about you on this? Yeah, you are?
I will be getting it. I don't know what console exactly. Probably the Nintendo Switch, because that's a cool game, a cool system to play on. Like, I'm not a real competitive Mortal Kombat player, but I enjoy kind of like the story and like working my way through and stuff like that. Yeah, I will be getting this, and it will be day one for sure.
Okay. For me, Mortal Kombat's the like best example of the game that I see trailers for, and I'm like, that looks awesome, and then I buy it and I never play it. Or I'll play it like a couple of times, because fighting games for me just, I'm not that great at them to begin with, so playing online is just out of the question. And it just never holds me that long, so it's always something that if I buy it, I'm going to feel like I kind of got tricked into it by my eyes, and I should have known better. But that said, who knows? We'll see. Steven?
Yeah, I'm the exact same way, Tyler. I did buy the last one. I played it a little bit. I like the fatalities are awesome, but it's just a fighting game. After all said and done, and it's just not for me. So, like I'd rather, but I do love watching people play fighting games. I will absolutely watch Evo, all of them. I suck at fighting games. I don't feel well. It's not that I suck at them. I just don't like to spend the time learning all the characters' combos and then the counters and everything and all that. Well, I guess I do suck at them, but I'm sure I could be okay if I did that, but I don't want to do that. So for now, I'll just stay being bad at it. So yeah. All right. Next question from Blake asks, what's the scariest character / enemy / player character in a game that isn't meant to be scary? It's a tough one, but I have one, so I'll go first here. Tom Nook from Animal Crossing, with his you always have to continuously upgrade your house, so you keep having to owe him bells, so you're always in debt to Tom Nook and his eyes, those beady eyes. Oh, he's just a monster. He is an animal. And not like, well, he's an actual
Animal Crossing,
since the name, but he's an animal, so yeah.
So I'm going to go a little different route here. And guys, which Assassin's Creed game was the one that was set during the French Revolution?
3? That sounds
No, yes. It's current gen.
Oh,
was it?
Wow.
I think it was Unity.
Whichever one. French Revolution.
Yes.
Shoot, I was thinking French and Indian War. Then I think it was Unity. Yeah.
Was it? Okay, yeah. So let's assume that, and if we're wrong, gaminghubpodcast@gmail.com. So anyway, so I'm gonna go a little different here. The characters that you talked to that were missing their face, where it was literally just like the tendons, like that wasn't intended, but they were a little creepy. Honorable mention to the characters in Andromeda.
No, the girl character.
Yeah, that just had the weird face.
Oh my gosh! And I felt so bad because the actress did like not look like that, and
No.
the male character looked fine, but the
It
female
wasn't
character,
the actress's fault. It was just the
really
the way
bad
the game was done.
programming.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but it was like something out of Stephen King. It was just weird and really creepy. So I know it's probably not the spirit that Blake intended it, but that's my answer. Graham?
I'm thinking about this one, and nothing is really popping up in my head at the moment. I'm trying to think. Like, I was thinking of a real scary character, but it's not meant to be scary. I'm like, well, okay, I better not mention that one because it's supposed to be scary. I'm gonna have to bow out on this one. Sorry, Blake. Maybe I'll get you next time.
Wow, cop out. Boo.
Well, I can make up something, but I'm like, that's a lie. I want to be truthful.
Graham, that's where you're just like, God, Steven, you stole my answer.
God, Steven, you stole my answer.
You've
See,
never
now you got
played
one.
You've never played Animal Crossing a day in your life. Get out.
No, but I did play a little bit. Kind of wish I put more time into that one, but we're not talking about that.
I think
All right.
you have that statement for a lot of games. All right, Phoenix Chaos said, would you prefer to play an A+ solo story game or a slightly lower quality campaign that's able to be played with friends?
Okay, so I'll take this, and again, it depends. What is slightly lower quality? Are we talking A or A minus? Because then I'll take that. If we're talking B minus C plus, then I'd probably prefer the A+ solo story game, like your God of Wars or your Red Dead 2s.
I'll say a mid-level B.
Then the God of Wars or Red Dead 2s.
Yeah, I'm the same way. A+ solo story game, 100%. 7 days a week, twice on Sundays, all of that fun stuff. Like, it's just, you can't beat that. And I've played games with my friends, and they're all bad at the games. So, I have to end up carrying them.
I'm glad he's not talking about me because he said friend.
Graham, Graham, when we played Anthem together, the three of us, who was getting the highest XP totals?
It was me and you. So
what the hell are you talking? No, that didn't happen.
And
nowhere to be
Mr.
seen.
Awesome Shooter Player, who was the first one to die?
I know that one. That was Steven.
Do you want to know why?
Just checking.
Why our community? Because these people do nothing. They're sitting there looking at like empty space while I'm fighting enemies,
Yeah,
and
sure
they're like,
is.
twiddly dee and twiddly dum. And
Well, I'll tell you the one thing I
Twiddle-dee
learned
and
how to do really quickly from playing with Steven, and that's how to repair teammates.
Yeah,
So
he does contribute for sure.
he does. He's helping us get better, Graham. That's
They
good.
get their licks in right now because they know they're not as good as me at video games in general. But all right, continue. Yeah, Toxic Tyler. Thanks, Twitch. Correct. Next one.
Graham's got to answer.
All right, let's get on. Change subject here. So for me, it's the same thing. It's an A+ solo story game. Because sometimes you want to play the game and then you're waiting on your friend and you're trying to sync up a time and then they got to go. I just like saying, okay, I just get lost in the world myself. I don't have to worry about other people. I don't worry about Steven dying all the time and having to revive him and stuff like that, where I can just do my own thing and I don't have to worry about others. So
Graham.
for me, yes, an A+ solo story game. Moving on.
Graham, you're asking for it right now. You are asking
spend
to
more time
revisit
in the bathhouse?
Yeah,
I was gonna say. Or, playing with friends, we have like 10 minutes to complete the mission and he's like lollygagging trying to kill every single little insect in the world. And I'm like, we have some place to be at a certain time. You know what? That's just
I can't say I'm a completionist.
Yeah,
Except
you're never gonna
completing the
complete the
mission.
damn mission. Next question. Who wants a Halo BR game from Nuka? And I'll go
Nope.
first here. Twitter
Go ahead.
had a great idea. So
Okay.
not for the mainline Halo game, not for Halo Infinite, but a BR game. I think it was not Ninja, Green Skull, and I'm pretty sure it was him that tweeted this. He said he's like he doesn't want Infinite, and I don't either. I want an arena shooter, but they make a BR game out of like the ruins of New Mombasa from ODST. So using like the same characters. like an ODS.
Oh, I like that.
And I read, and I'm like, that's a genius idea. And then I see this question, and I'm like, that's the perfect answer.
Yeah, and Green Skull was a big Halo player. They both were actually Ninja as well. Coming up, so yeah, they would know. But I really like that idea. I think that'd be fantastic. But overall, no, I'm not dying to see BR in Halo. That said, I'm sure we're gonna see it.
Now, if it was rockets with very low gravity and very high movement speed, like we played in our community event the last time, I'd be down for that because that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Graham doesn't ever play Halo, so he doesn't get to answer.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you want a Halo BR game, Graham?
Hell no.
Okay. Next question from Tony. What is the most frustrated you ever got playing a game, and did you break something?
I'm going to go first here real quick. The answer is no for me. However, I have a memory of someone that I played with, an old roommate, who we were playing NHL, actually, which should never bring this much rage out of anyone. Like, that game, really? Anyway, this person was well known for having tantrums and slamming the controller down on the bed or whatever he was sitting on while he was playing in his room or whatever. And one night, he did it, and his headset unplugged from it, and he couldn't find it. So he's searching everywhere and everywhere and everywhere in the room, and he's swearing and everything and just pissed. All of a sudden, he realizes that it is tangled in the shades covering his window. Like the blinds. It's so tangled that it's like hanging down. Somehow it bounced literally about 7 to 8 feet in the air. Got tangled in there perfectly. I have a picture of it. It's fantastic.
The evidence don't lie.
Yep. So, but I have seen that in person, and that was pretty entertaining. That same person's also the one who scored on an empty net when we had a delayed penalty. Our advantage, and we got to see a complete meltdown there too. So, yeah,
it's always fun to watch it happen to somebody else.
Yeah, except your ear hurts for about 3 days after. But anyway, how about you guys?
Mine was from a game of NCAA football in high school. So you got to throw yourself in the high school mindset. You're already not a bastion of calmness, as a teenager. And when I was playing NCAA, and with a friend. And, there's a little bit of shit talking. Oops, my bad. Sorry. A little bit of, talking smack. And, it was a pretty close game. And, you make the one mistake and it gets rubbed in your face. And, you knew as soon as you do it, you see it coming. You throw like an interception. I think it was an interception. And I remember I threw the old, the headsets that came with the Xbox 360, like the one that went over one ear. I threw one of those and it snapped in half at the top. So it still worked because it was just the plastic piece. So I just taped it back together and I wore it until I could buy a new one. I was not dumb enough to throw a controller because those were expensive, but those headsets weren't that bad, even for me as a high school student. So that was the one thing I did break. That was probably the most mad I was at a game. Well, there's been a couple other times, but we'll not get into that.
So, Graham, I'd be absolutely shocked if your answer is yes to this, but go ahead.
No, I've never broken anything from anger. But I've gotten pretty mad at some games, mostly the old school like NES and maybe Super Nintendo, where it's not like games are so much easier these days where you have infinite continues, you have infinite lives, you can go back to a previous save. But back in like the NES days, like you lose your 3 lives, you got to start right from the bitter beginning. So sometimes those games could invoke some serious rage, punching pillows, like not breaking anything though. But
punching pillows, man.
I'm so mad.
I'm so mad I punched just But I don't recall actually breaking anything. But yeah, no, there's times like I can think about other times where I get pretty angry, but I'm pretty typically a calm person, but sometimes just keep missing that jump, that stupid jump every time.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I'm more likely to yell, Graham, than throw anything
Yeah.
or break anything.
I knew somebody would throw his controller all the time. If he throw mine, I'd be mad because he threw my controller. But yeah, I never understood that.
There was a Kingdom Hearts moment this past week that had me, slightly upset. And to the point where the dogs cleared the room.
What difficult? You're playing on Proud mode, right?
No. So, it's just new to me. I'm like, I'm not a natural with the control scheme of that game. So, and it's frustrating when you got to go and just do it over again. And then it did the thing where it sent me back like 2 fights before. And that pissed me off more.
Okay.
So anyway.
No. There's nothing worse in the Kingdom Hearts world than the OG Kingdom Hearts 1 Riku 2 fight that had a 10-minute unskippable cutscene right before the hardest fight in the game. And that was enough to make you quit the game forever. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's a wonder that that's my favorite series. But yeah, that was a thing that existed back in the day. Ugh, my God.
So let's do one more, maybe 2, if we can make it quick.
Yeah, we have a couple quick ones. So,
okay.
First one is from Ska Guy 123 asks, based off the start of his week, what would you do if your power was out for days?
So real quick, Ska Guy has kind of kept us up to date in Discord, and man, it's been a rough week. He lives in the Pittsburgh area, and he's where they had the super high winds that knocked out power for a ton of the city. So we hope everything's back up and running now and you're doing well and staying warm, because, when that happens in February, that really sucks if you're in any northern part of the country. So hopefully that's back up and running. I personally, if I had family nearby, I'd be crashing there. Otherwise, I would consider a hotel if temperatures were dropping in the house or apartment, like below, the 50s. How about you guys?
Okay, so I wasn't thinking about, I'd be cold or stuff like that. I was just thinking me without power. I essentially, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It would force me to play my acoustic guitar a lot more. And I would probably do jigsaw puzzles, because basically I have the internet, I have power, I have all this stuff. So basically I don't do these analog things anymore, as I'll call it. So if I get forced to it, I'd be like, maybe I'll do that jigsaw puzzle I've been staring at for 4 years and haven't touched. And like I said, I always said if like power goes out, it's a nice thing because I have an acoustic guitar. I also have electric, but thing is you need power for electric, so I would go to my acoustic.
Yeah, my parents live close enough. I would head over there, or my grandparents, or someone. I'd find something. If I was stuck in the house without power, I would probably either stay at work for a lot longer than normal, assuming work had power, or I would go to school and stay at campus for like the entire day. And then just come home at night. So, because that way I could charge my phone and everything. Luckily, I don't live in a state that gets freezing, so I don't have to worry about heat. But in the summer, I'd be crying, because that means no air conditioning and fans, and yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Let me kind of like go in on this. Like, what would you guys do to occupy your time? Don't say you go somewhere where you could have power. If you were somewhere where you had no power.
I'd read.
You'd read?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably read too. I have some board games as well. I would try to solve like the Goldblock conjecture. Jesus Christ, words are hard. That's a math thing. No, read it. Yeah. Like, it's the easiest thing. Like during the day, sorry. At night, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I have a backlog of books
Sleep.
just almost as long as my backlog of games. So, yeah. All right. Last question.
Okay. Wretched Deal asks, do you guys drink coffee? So how do you like it?
Yes, and I like it black, actually. Actually, no, I take that back. Little bit of cream and sugar, just a little. But, yeah. That's it for me. And Caribou Coffee is the best brand, by the way. I hate Starbucks.
Okay, I'm into construction, and I feel like construction and coffee pretty much go hand in hand. I know like office stuff as well, but I drink coffee. Coffee gets me through my mornings. When I'm out and about, I usually get McDonald's coffee because it's the better
Also really
coffee.
good, Graham. Yeah,
And
really
you buy 7 coffees, you get a free one, which is a great deal. And I just learned today, I'm going to tell you, all you lovely people, that if you download the My McDonald's app on your phone, you could actually get a digital sticker and you get a physical sticker. So you're getting, with 7 coffees, you get 2 free ones, essentially.
All right.
And personally at home, I have an Nespresso, and I love my Nespresso machine, and I make Nespresso coffee, and usually just put 1 sugar in it. And if I get a coffee somewhere else, it's a regular 1 cream, 1 sugar.
Okay. Steven?
Yeah, I also like coffee. I can drink it black. I don't like it black that much. I prefer the coffee. I think it's Coffee Mate, the creamers. I like because they have the different flavors. Yeah, and so I like mixing it up. And I prefer just adding, like, why drink black coffee when I could have it taste good?
What about Bailey's?
Sure. Oh, I love Bailey's. I love Bailey's and hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It's actually very good.
Yeah.
But for just coffee for, like, the morning, yes, I basically need coffee every morning. I was like, I'll never be that person, and then you are that person eventually, and that's just how it happens. I don't drink it on the weekends, and I'm not the crazy person that drinks it at like 6 o'clock at night. Graham,
I drink at 11 o'clock at night.
I don't know how you drink coffee before going to bed.
I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed.
I one time got coffee at like 3:15 before one of my classes one day because I was really tired, and I could not fall asleep till like 12:31 in the morning, and I was so mad. But I do like coffee. It's amazing.
All right. All right, well, that's all the time we have for questions. But before we get out of here, we do have one last bit of business to do because it's the last episode of the month. So we do have a giveaway to do. Actually, 2 of them, because thanks to a couple members of our Facebook community, they called out. We actually forgot to do it last month. So apologies, but we're going to do 2 this time to make up for that. And before Steven announces it, just a reminder for our monthly giveaway for the entire community, you have to reach out to us so we know that you listened to the episode. So make sure you reach out to us and let us know that you won. Steven, who won this time around?
All right, our first winner is Ska Guy 123 from Discord, and the second winner is Seth Simmons from Facebook. So shoot us a message on any place that you want, preferably on the one where we can, identify your handles. But so you send us a message and claim your prize.
All right.
Congratulations to you both.
Yeah, and thank you guys for your support. Really appreciate it. So enjoy, and we hope you put it to good use. So, all right. That's going to do it for episode number 149. Guys, next week we're going to have a milestone episode.
Milestone.
150. That's a lot of talking over time. So 150 is cool to hit, though, and puts us on the path to 200. So that's pretty awesome. But this has been episode 149. Before we leave, though, I want to remind you, we'd love to have you join our community. A couple different ways to do that. Facebook, the Gaming Hub forums there. Look it up and hit join and take part in the conversation there. Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. From either of those places, you can get a link to our Discord page where, honestly, we have the most community conversation going on at all times, and a lot of good chatter going on there about games and lots of other silly and random stuff. Like last night, which was really weird but funny at the same time. But it's a good time, so check that out. And if you'd like to help support the community, we'd really appreciate that. A couple different ways to do it. Twitch, like I said, TXH Gaming Hub. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Prime sub. If you choose to spend that on us, we'd really appreciate it. Helps support the show and helps us do better giveaways and produce better content. Also, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/gaminghub. And for as little as $2 a month, you get exclusive content. For as little as $5 a month, you're entered into a monthly giveaway for $60 in gift cards to the console of your choice. All right, guys. That's going to do it for 149. We'll be back next week with 150. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe, play some great games, and we will talk to you soon.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.